Thank you so much, Sunil sir, for joining us. It's a privilege of speaking with you. To introduce to everyone, so he's Mr. Sunil, and he's based out of Oman and heading a team of internal audit therein. So more about you from your mouth itself.
Hi, good evening. Pleasure to be here, and hello everyone. As you know, I'm Sonil. I'm working in Oman actually as manager internal audit in one of the big groups out here, and it's all a privilege to be part of this podcast to share my insights, my experiences with you all, so that it helps you out in going forward. Well, about myself, I am a qualified chartered accountant from India. I qualified in July 2006. That was at age 29. I had taken a lot of time for my final second group, but eventually I cleared it. I finished my articleship and then I was giving exams. I was not qualifying, and then there was an opportunity of a contractual trainee in PwC, so in the field of external audit. And I tried my luck, and thankfully I got through it. I think that was a turning point for me. In November 2003, I joined them as a trainee, and July 2006, my results were out, and I qualified finally. I worked another couple of years in PwC as an external auditor, and then I realized start audit is not for me. I was not enjoying it, so I started exploring different avenues. Uh, at that point of time, you don't have social media, you didn't have LinkedIn, and you didn't have mentors to approach. So I was just looking for opportunities, and suddenly I came across an opportunity in internal audit in family credit. So in June 2008, I joined Family Credit as an internal auditor. That was my first exposure to internal audit. I worked for another 5 years, and 2013 August, I came to Oman. And since then, it's been 12 years I'm in Oman. So from a family perspective, I'm married, staying here with my wife and a daughter who is in class 10. My father is a mechanical engineer back home now. He's almost retired at the age of 79. Three sisters I have, and all are married and settled abroad. So that's how my background is.
So, what pulled you to the stream of chartered accountancy, wherein you had a background where your father is engineer?
Uh, it was not a conscious call, because see, back then you have a few avenues. You either take up science or arts or commerce. Now, obviously, same here for in plus 12. But then if you are taking up science, it's basically engineer or doctor, and commerce means you are doing either CA, CS or MBA. That was the preferred mode at that point of time. You didn't had so much of a specialization at that point of time. So the thing was, my maths was weak. Um, I didn't score well in maths, and that is one of the reasons. If you are not good in maths, science is not cut out for you. I mean, definitely not engineering. So we had a discussion. My father advised it's better you take up commerce, and that's how I ended up in commerce. And commerce means you have to do CA. That's how I ended up CA, though it was not the planned method. But yeah, eventually my scores in class 10 was also not that much that I could have take up science. So eventually commerce was the only option, and commerce means CA was the only option. And that's the whole idea I had at that point of time largely. So that's how I ended up in CA.
So basically, there's a one myth that you have to be good in maths for choosing commerce. So probably you broke that myth because eventually you mentioned that though you scored less in maths, but that somewhat helped you.
I don't think you have to be excellent in maths. Maths is what? Maths is logic basically. It allows you to think logically, it allows your thinking ability. So, what happens is if you take maths, if you are in good in maths, whether you take science, arts, or commerce, whatever it is, it enables your thinking ability. It opens up your mind. That's the basic logic about it. I was not good, whatever may be the reason, but that doesn't mean I could not do commerce. I could do commerce. Maths is it's good to have a strong point in the mathematics, but even if you don't have a business mathematics knowledge is sufficient enough. I mean, you can still grow. But yeah, if you are taking up like finance and something like that, hardcore finance, where you're going for CFA and all, it's good to be having a strong base in mathematics and statistics that helps you out actually.
Got you. Okay, so right after you qualify, did you know where your career is heading to? Like, I mean, first it was external audit, then you moved to internal audit, or wherein some time, a point of time, did you face that maybe internal audit is not your cup of tea? I mean, how did you realize early in your career?
Uh, See, I was doing an articleship from a very small firm, and the exposure was very, very limited. I mean, small means it's a very small firm where you have individuals or very small private companies you're doing your articleship from. And my focus was attending college and obviously doing my CA. So it was difficult at that point of time to give 100% exposure into articleship. So the exposure was not there. And later when I was giving my exams, I was not qualified. When opportunity came, I took it. I mean, I was not realizing at that point of time where I have to go. The exposure, like we have today, I mean, you can reach out to people. You, even if you don't want to reach out, you Google, you YouTube, your LinkedIn, you are in social media, you get a lot of informations, so you can know about it. The exposure level is completely different at this year back in 2 decades down the line. So when opportunity came, we used to think, okay, external audit is one of the prime thing, and as an audit, as a chartered accountant, that is the area where you take up. And in articleship, largely we do either taxation or external audit. Internal audit was not there at that time, and smaller firms don't have that much. Or you prepare accounts for something. So I ended up taking that because my idea was I'm not qualifying, so I need exposure. And what better way to get an exposure than from a brand of PwC? Because, say, for example, I'm not able to qualify, at least I have a good brand exposure. I continue with my journey of working life. So that was the whole idea of me venturing into it. And believe me, initially I was enjoying it, external audit. But over the period, I started to realize external audit is all about you're not adding value to anything. It is just basically a review of a financial statement. You're giving an assurance. It's more about knowing taxation, accounting, and accounting standards, and these kind of things. And to be honest, it's more of a memory game rather than a very logical concept where you understand the logic and you do it. You have to remember things. I mean, you have to remember the laws, the sections, and other things, because it's the truth is, you have, if you don't remember these, you end up not giving your satisfactory review. That's when, after qualification, I started realizing it's not my cup of tea. This is something which will not take me very long far away. See, today we have good opportunities articles where we realize what we like, because the exposure level, the complexity is there in an articleship level. So that's when I realized external audit is not there for me. So let's start searching. Now start searching where accounting was out of question, because it is again related to external audit, because it's on the other side of the gate. You're preparing accounts and you're auditing it. So what was left was, when I got an opportunity in internal audit, I took it into it. Didn't had fair bit of an idea, just a basic idea, elementary, that you are from an internal to the organization and you're doing basically an internal audit review of not only financials but other things also. So that's how, when I got internal audit, I joined it. Initial 2 years was difficult because the transition takes a shift. You need to shift your mindset from external audit to internal audit. It's not easy, because without the mindset shift, it becomes very difficult. You are going back to your same style of doing the financial review, even operations review, you are doing the same way. There it is important of identifying the risk. If you do not identify risk properly, your internal audit is not going to be qualitative. So it took me around year and a year and a half for me to settle down, to understand the nitty gritties of internal audit, to change my mindset. And third year was a good year for me. I performed well. Then
So
after that, I
basically, someone,
realized,
oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to understand from that perspective, like, is it someone who had a good logical reasoning? Maybe that person is a good fit for internal audit.
see, honestly, you need reasoning in every field, be it personal or professional. But yeah, if you do not have a very sound technical knowledge of accounting standards, Companies Act, but you have a fair bit of an idea if you are working, and you have a logical reasoning, a mind which is having a curiosity to learn things, to understand the business, to understand the industry, to have inquisitiveness, to create, I mean, what is going to, I mean, think as a business. It is your business. You want to grow it, you want to control it, you want to improve it. How would you do that? So, if these qualities are there, then you can be a good internal auditor. Of course, you need technical evaluation, technical know-hows, and every other things. But more than that, if you do not have these soft skills, it becomes very difficult. Only technical skills will not help you out. I mean, you know, A plus B or 1 plus 2 is 3. That will not only help you out. You need to have an understanding and the logic behind that.
So one question that comes up my mind, you mentioned about like you took multiple attempts. I'm then apologize for asking that question. I know every CA is being scared of answering it, but how many attempts do you took in clearing it? And do you think that attempt have any which ways like uh, it's a difficult phase because it hampers your career trajectory because someone who's cleared in multiple attempt is generally scared of whether the person would be able to secure any
Yeah.
job or be able to do anything because there is a what a fallback they have that someone has cleared in the very first attempt whereas it took three or four or even much more than that and still they are afraid to do anything.
I definitely see, obviously, number of attempts matters. Now, coming back to me first, I must have taken 8, 9 attempts to clear my CA second group because I cleared foundation, inter, and I think my first group at one go. I was the thing is ki since school level I was not a very brilliant kind of a student. I was a student who used to always think, come what may, I will pass. I mean, I will study and I will pass. I think somewhere down the line that became a subconsciously an overconfidence, maybe. So in the final years when I came, it gave me a reality check. No, that is not what it is. After all, you have to give more number of hours to study. You have to study smartly, but somewhere, once you get into the loop of failing, then your mind plays a big game because you study, you know that you know everything, and again you go into the loop. You know you have given good exams, but when your results come out, you are again not qualified. So, what we need to do is, first of all, it is important for us if we are doing a number of attempts, we need to take a step back, reassess ourselves. See, the thing is ki at my time 2 decades before there was not much avenues what we can do what we cannot. Today we have, I mean, like ACCA was not even there, or CPAs were not even there. We were not even aware that we can do that. Now today we can. I mean, we have CIAs, CISA, XYZ MBAs, and then ACCAs, CPAs, and whatnot. I mean, with the globalization, we in the with the technology being there, we can do a lot of things. But yeah, should we quit? Now it depends on you. It is a self assessment that you need to do whether you can do it, you are cut out for it, or not. There's no shame in quitting and taking up different thing and then again coming back if you have a time, because the more the time it goes, it becomes difficult. Now, when I qualified at the age of 29, at that time the supplies and the demands were almost there. Mismatch was not there much. Now today we have everybody vying for a smaller section or the seats. So the faster we are, it's better. But doesn't mean that we cannot get a job. Doesn't mean we cannot succeed. Industry's mindset has become like that, where they see, okay, you are not the first attempt, we will not screen you. But at the end of the day, you judge them, you see them. Don't judge them by the number of academic attempts only, because maybe he is actually good. I mean, there are so many people who have not cleared in first attempt and they are on the top level of the organizations. They are doing excellent well. So the problem is we go with a very set pattern. The industry is not matured enough at times, and again it depends on the person who is screening it. So there are people who do not bother about number of attempts, but there are also people in industry who says no, we only need first attempt people. I have come across recently. I'm trying to help people. I came across certain things where they say no, it has to be a CA, it has to be a first attempt, even irrespective of whether you have good experience or not. But that doesn't mean you cannot get it. I have got it. People have got it. You will get it. So you have to try. It may take sometimes what happens, it takes a certain period of time for some people, and some people it's faster. So it again boils down to the destiny, and the luck also plays a factor on an individual. But yes, don't be disheartened if you have given number of attempts and qualified. Try your best, you will get a job eventually.
So you mentioned about the multiple courses available apart from CA. For someone, any chartered accountant, Indian chartered accountant who wanted to go global, so what is the exact route for them, and what should be the things that they should avoid?
Okay, first of thing, global means you're talking about GCC or the entire world you're talking about.
Moving offshore, it's like GCC, yes, but GCC also they accommodate Indian chartered accountants as well, though they have a preference of CPA. But I believe like for going offshore, is it a mandate to have any other degree, or the Indian chartered accountant can go anywhere?
See, Indian Chartered Accountant Institute have actually tied up with lot other institutes, so you have those kind of things. So first and foremost, you need to assess whether they have a tie-up or not, whether it is recognized or not. Because see, each country has its own rules and regulations and accounting practices. When we do Indian CA, we are with Indian rules and regulations, Indian accounting standards. We are not doing maybe IFRS or US accounting gap and everything. Now it depends where you are going. So you need to plan things out. Now, first of all, if you are maybe coming to GCC or something, CA is more than enough. But then again, depending on your profile, you may always add on because that adds value. See, today, at one point of time, it was one degree was sufficient enough. But today, there are multiple degrees required because you get exposure, you get a lot of other knowledges. So there is no harm in taking it. The first and foremost important thing is, I believe so. Initially, you should gain experience in India. Why so? Because we what we try to do is, say for example, somebody trying for GCC, we say, okay, we are a fresher, we just want to go to GCC. Now, let's be clear, GCC doesn't take fresher that often. Okay, they prefer experienced people, be it Oman or be it Dubai. Dubai is more into experienced people. Oman can still take fresher. But let's be clear, the complexity is very different from India. It's not as complex as you find in India. Okay. So what I personally believe and feel is it's always better to gain experience in India, handle the pressure, handle the team, gain the complex work knowledge. At least 3 to 4 years. I mean, 4 years is a good enough thing because, see, when you join an organization, first year goes just like that. You learn nothing actually. Second year, you learn something. Third year, you actually get a hold of it. Maybe you're doing an independent assignments. The problem with us is we try to rush. We try to take in a short-term goals. Take it as a long-term goal. Take it as an investment. So these 4 years is an investment for you. If you have actually done core, if you are into audit, core audit, if you are into finance and accounts, go into the core segment, not into the offshore segment, because offshore segments again is a very specialized requirement, and it's something which is not as complex as what you get in India. Okay, Indian operations, I mean to say. So that is an important thing. First and foremost, I feel you should have good exposure in Indian conditions because it prepares not only technically, it prepares your mindset also. Okay. Second, I feel is you should plan out where you want to go because it cannot be like I am wherever I get it. No, sometimes then it will take a long time. If you plan it out, then it's easier for you. Depending on the country where you want to go, you may assess whether CA is required or not. Google, or you can network with people who are already there. Indians are working everywhere. So if you think, no, this is something an add-on is required. So if you're planning out beforehand and when you are working 4 years, you can get the degree. So by the time you are ready, fourth year, you have a degree and then you know whom to connect with people. So networking is also important. Start networking early. What we do is we wait for the results to come out and then we start approaching people. No, you did not do that. Have a healthy network, build upon it, have a conversation. Just don't go and blindly approach people, I want a job. That's how most of the people are not reverting also. So when you converse, when you have a relationship, then you ask for a job. So by the time you have a degree, you have an experience, you're asking for a job, you are actually ready, you're not wasting your time. So these are important things, and obviously very important to take a degree if Indian CA is not sufficient enough. And see, it depends also on the specialization that you are going for. If you're going for a financial analyst or hardcore investment things, CFA is a good line to do along with CA. Why not? Or MBA in finance may be adding value. Somewhere you can do CIA. It's globally recognized. You can do it from India if you're going for internal auditor. If you want to go for IT audit, CISA is a good option. I mean, you can do Indian equivalent also. But having in CISA, people will recognize. People will not know Indians CAs in many countries. But if you have an international degree, it helps you out. I mean, they will give you preferences, I feel so.
So, how did you get this opportunity, and how is it the current situation in Oman?
Uh, when I was working in Family Credit, which is basically a subsidiary of Society General, and then it was subsequently sold off to L&T Finance. Now, at that point of time, L&T Finance was headquartered in Bombay, where we had headquarter in Calcutta. And what they were trying to do was they were slowly trying to shift people to Bombay headquarters, people who were into the corporate segment, and slowly make Calcutta a branch or a regional office. Now, obviously, you cannot go at the same salary at what you're earning in Calcutta and work in Bombay, because the L&T Finance itself had its own internal audit department, and they had a group level audit head. And mind it, they were good enough. And then 5 years was happening, and it was becoming a monotonous kind of a thing where you were finding yourself there's nothing much more to learn. So that's how I started applying it. And I had that kind of relationship with my CAE. Like, I was very transparent that I'm looking for it. Not all can be, because it depends again on the trust level that you have. You know, people will not screw you, but there are situations where people may create problems for you. So it depends on the level of trust level you have with them. I was applying at that point of time. The applying opportunities were also like Naukri Gulf or Master Gulf or Naukri.com, and these kind of few websites were there. Or they used to scout through them, because we didn't had LinkedIn back then. I think it had come, but we were not knowing much about it. And that's how I was applying everywhere. My CVs were floating. And I think I got a call from the company directly. They scouted my CV from Monster Gulf, as far as I remember. And when I got a call, it was from Oman. Now, the thing was, Oman, I have never heard it. The way people used to know it, I was not knowing Oman. So it was creating confusion in my mind whether I should go for the interview or not go for the interview. And at that point of time, you didn't had a network, kind of a internet where you can do video calling and all. So they had organized. I remember they had Reliance Communications used to had outlets. So I had to go there and give my interview as a video call. The thing was, the interview was taken by Indians, so that gave me a comfort, because that made me realize, okay, Indians are there. And going by the name, I realized people are North Indians, and there were South Indians also. The mixed profile was there. That was a comfort. And then when I gave the interview, there was a silence. I didn't know what I did. There was no technical discussions per se. They started discussing about salary, and I said, okay, wow, you don't need to assess the quality of a guy. That's fair enough. I think after 1 month, I got a email that you have been shortlisted. That was, I think so. I'm not recollecting with that much, but I think after a month or so, I got selected. Then I started doing my research, internet research of Oman, and found out Oman to be positive news. Then it was a leap of faith I took. I had to go. So I took it. Family was supportive, especially my grandmother. When I talked to her, she said, you should look for your future. That's how I ended up in Oman. So far, it has not been a wrong decision. 12 years have passed, flew by. But yeah, condition now, having right condition currently, Oman is a small market for especially for internal auditors. Definitely, it's a small market. It's not as opened up as maybe Dubai or Qatar or Saudi, because the companies are not as much as maybe you will find in Dubai, because Dubai being a hub of it. And also a lot of local population are there who are middle class, and obviously you have to give them the job. So Omanization is a very high requirement now. I mean, obviously you cannot keep them out and give job to the expats. That cannot happen. So a lot of competition are increasing, a lot of positions are being given to local people. That's fair enough. So that's a struggle, and people, once they come and they stay, they don't move out much. So what happens is the vacancies are not getting created. See, when you keep moving, maybe 4 years, 5 years down the line, so vacancies get created. So same vacancy, a lot of people are vying, and that's how the economy of internal auditors or accountants work. And also, what is Oman doing is, for accounts and all, they're slowly making back offices in India. The companies are making back offices. So obviously now people do not require an Oman. They can select in India or maybe any other parts of the world, and they can set up the back offices. So it's not easy now in Oman. Cost of living is increasing. The demand is not too much. It's tough, and also the regulations are the expat woman cannot get visa for working. It's very rare. So what happens is, now these days both the couples are working, so it becomes difficult. One wants to shift, the other person cannot get a visa for working. You can be a dependent. The, the wife can be a dependent person, but it cannot be working. So then people are slowly not coming much into Oman now. So Dubai is still competitive, but it is highly competitive in the sense because people from all over the world are coming and working there. So basically, you are competing against the best brains of the world. So it's not easy, and there are people who are needy. So they will go to any extent or any salary to work. So it's not easy now as it was earlier for Indians also to venture, because Indians are getting well paid in India now. But if they want to shift, obviously they need a higher pay scale. So when they are on a higher pay scale, people are getting equally good quality from other regions at a lower pay scale. That's where the competition for the Indians are coming into Dubai also. And Dubai is very expensive, believe me. It's not cheap. You may look you are earning good, but at the end of the day, you need to see into your savings. Only the top line will not help you out. So that's how the GCC is. We're going to have an income tax from 2028. So that's a major shift. And once Oman has it, maybe going down the line, the other GCC will follow suit. I just want to add a few more points about Oman. I mean, then why people stay. I mean, if the things are not growing so well or something like that, the quality of life is good. I mean, compared to Dubai, Dubai is like a city which is rushing all the time. It's a very, very fast life. You have a lot of traffic and long distance. It's like a Mumbai, how you will fare. Oman is completely opposite. It doesn't have that much of traffic. Like I take 10 minutes to reach my office, around 12 kilometers, 10, 12 kilometers. The safety and security is good. It's good for family life. So people generally who have a family life, once they come, they tend to stay back here. I mean, it may not be like the growth may be very exorbitant, but then again, they tend to stay back, and that's how people are not leaving. They're staying here for years together. So that's how it's an economic situation where people are not moving. Obviously, the vacancy is not getting created. That's how the situation is.
Got it. But you mentioned no in Dubai or like all across India. So obviously there will be a cultural shock because therein most of the Indians are there. But in Oman, definitely, I mean the population is way too less. Plus they're not much of expats. So is it that it doesn't seem to be quite glamorous to stay in there because obviously the people are there of a different origin or different nationality?
Initially, yes, when you are ignorant, when you are coming here, when not aware of it. I mean, eventually, when I was coming initially, obviously there was a tinge of doubtfulness in my mind. Initially, when I landed here, obviously there was a cultural shock in the sense that you are completely coming into a first time into a country where you do not know about that country, and it was for me a first time staying away and leaving my family and coming. So obviously, yes, that was itself an emotionally roller coaster. Then the buildings and all are very culturally inclined. They are very fascinated about their culture, so which is a good thing. But then initially, when you come from a thing where you're seeing modern buildings, modern offices, suddenly you come into a infrastructure which is traditional, which is more inclined to their local culture. Initially, you feel that, but then it grows on you. It is like basically, I'll tell you one example. Now, in India, if you are going, like I go once in a year, and the honking, amount of honking you hear, it's crazy like a music. You come here, it's absolutely zero honking. So it's a cultural shock, yes, but it's a peace of mind. In a good way. Now the modern buildings are coming up, modern infrastructures are happening, things are different. So yes, it has its own benefits. Initially, when you come, you need to have good friend circle. People are largely excellent. I mean, they have a good sizable amount of population and a good sizable amount of expat population. It's almost 50-50 or maybe 60-40 ratio. They have a good middle class section, so they are like us. And if you compare with maybe other GCC countries where people like Dubai and Qatar, they have fairly high society people. Here, the people are like us, except for the maybe the dressing may be different. And if you change the dressing, you will not differentiate between us and them. They speak Hindi. I mean, you won't believe when I first time met people and they speak beautiful Hindis. I mean, you are conversing in Hindi with an Arabic guy. And that is amazing because they have their origins from Balochistan, back in Pakistan, and all areas. And even they are married with Indians. So, and they watch a lot of Bollywood movies. So that's how they know Indian. They pick up very fast. And Hindi is obviously an easy language to pick up. So they are fun-loving people. They enjoy their life. They go back 5 in the evening when the office closes, and they have their own life. We Indians keep working. When they go and they have their own life. So that's the difference. You learn from them, and they have been accepting us. It's not that we are founding as something outsider. It is for them also. We are like them. So we have good relationships with them, and that's how the cultural shocks doesn't hit you as much as initially when you land up here and you feel it.
So you,
Yes, from an audit,
no,
just
go ahead, go
to
ahead, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, from an audit perspective, there may be certain cultural shocks which may not be like how you see back in India, because back in India or world around you do not, you largely do a risk-based kind of an audit or some specialized audits. Here in private companies, we still have transaction-based audits. Now slowly we are moving towards risk-based audit, but there are a lot of transaction-based audits involved because the management wants everything to be audited so that they feel comfortable about it. So initially when I started working, it was like so many POs I have to clear, so many payments I have to clear. I've never done that like this. It's like an operation but an auditor. So much of autographs I have not given in my life like I have given here. So that was the cultural shock, but now it has grown on me, and it has given me a better learning of your processes, of the business, of the industry, than what people back in India as a risk-based auditor are getting. So it has its own pros and cons. So that is what I wanted to add actually.
So, I just wanted to ask, like, you mentioned about too much about the Oman market for internal audit. For someone who's not from internal audit, wanted to look into that market, so what will that be like? Whether from a taxation perspective, like you mentioned that the taxation will be implemented sooner in Oman. So, should the people, because as I remember when that was implemented in UAE when corporate tax was there. So every Indian rushed to grab that one. So should the people keep an eye in the Oman as and when the tax will be implemented?
Okay, the Oman also has a VAT. So Oman has already implemented VAT. So we already have a VAT system. Corporate tax is also there. So it is similar. Now the personal income tax is going to come from 2028. Obviously, there will be requirements of people, but they want the local population to gear up for that. because see, they have a sizable amount of population, and they are not, they are middle class people, they are upper middle class people. They need jobs, they need to earn for their family, so obviously they are being upgraded. That's how the things are. Now there has been a recent change which has happened. Now going forward, there will be a certification which we all have to take from their skill department. There is a new department that has been created. So we have to enroll for that. We have to give our experience and qualification certificates, and they will certify us whether we are fit for the roles that we are playing, both locals and expats. So they want to streamline the things. They want more experienced people working into the respective fields for which they have the exposure, they have the requisite qualifications. Now yes, like a lot of people are thinking whether we should open up firms or not. See, already there are a lot of firms both run by Indians and expats, being the market which is not big enough. So more and more firms coming and vying for the same thing. It is good competitiveness, but you cannot grow beyond a point. Even if the tax is coming up, the income tax, it is having a cutoff point. So not all people will be coming. It's maybe a small chunk of the people who are at the top bracket will be for the time being. Eventually they grow. Now, if you want to come, obviously you need to be, if you are into taxation, I mean, let's keep aside accounting and auditing. Taxation is a specialized local law, so you need to be aware of that. If you have that, obviously you can come. People will explore job avenues, so there can be opportunities. For an auditing and accounting, obviously we follow IFRS mechanism. So if you are aware of an IFRS mechanism and you have a chartered accountancy, you can go for an accounts aspect. Internal audit, as I said, again, if you are a CA, it's more than sufficient. If you have experience, that's a good thing. Again, Oman is slowly shifting its business, or a back office is being created in India. So what happens is they do not want to hire too many people here. They want to give it back to the outsourcing model. So things are evaluating, evolutions are happening, changes are happening. What is important is whoever wants to open or come here needs to be aware of the changes that is happening and then take a call. Given the fact that Indian market is big, it's a voluminous market. Opportunities are more. It's just that the taxation is there. We feel a lot of things, and we feel the hassles, like commuting from home to office takes 2 hours one way. So it's a hassle. So people want to go away and then look for other avenues. But slowly there will not be a difference when the entire taxation comes up and everything comes up. It will not be a lucrative market as it was at one point of time.
So, what is the future of IA? Because considering everyone is scared that we'll be losing our jobs, every chartered accountant rather. So, the many articles which come for interview, they ask me this question, ma'am, will we be replaced by AI? What will happen? Like we are pursuing, we are putting so much of efforts into it, and what happened lately will be kicked off by AI. So, do you think that this is a possibility in terms of IA if we talk about?
See, the thing is, everything is a marketing. Okay. I am a part of a internal audit group. The only messages that I get is AI. Sometimes I feel paranoid that I don't know AI. I am losing steam. But let's come back to reality. AI is going to stay and it's going to improve. But that doesn't mean we will be wiped out and everything will be automated and robotic. We will have to find out different ways and means to survive them. I always give an example when India had a revolution, when the computers were coming, when we were as a kid and internets were not, I mean, the computers were not there. We were always doing manual, and when computers were being introduced slowly, people were out in the streets that jobs will go away. Manually, you require 10 people. Now, if computer comes, you will require 2 people. What the other 8 people are going to do? But today, are we out of jobs? No. We still need people. I mean, at the end of the day, we still are there. The new avenues will come up, new ventures will come up. We have to upgrade ourselves. Definitely. It doesn't mean AI coming means AI will do entire A to Z work. It will not happen. Then
Cannot replace
tomorrow,
human
obviously,
brain.
Yeah, and then tomorrow everything will have an AI. I mean, you have AI in finance, you have AI in surgery, healthcare, normal life. We are using AI for everything. So why internal audit is being singled out? If we are out of job means we are out of job for everything. Then we don't have a job, we find avenues. So the thing is, the way we see things, the things we are reading about, it's only talking about AI. So we get paranoid.
Yes.
And let's be fair to them, it's not their fault. I mean, the way things are, if you're putting one thing after the another every day, you will start thinking like that. And that is precisely what is happening. So for now, audit is going to stay. Let's upgrade ourselves. Definitely, yes. We need to learn a lot of things. Only normal AI, auditing or accounting will not work out. You need to learn different things. And that's how you will be better off than what others, if the others don't know, you will always be on top of them. So upgrade yourself. That is an important thing.
So if you were 25 today, just completed your chartered accountancy, what are the three skills you think that you should have excel on?
Uh, First, an important thing, obviously, as you said, AI. You need to learn AI. AI is still not matured enough. It's still in the transition phase, in the starting phase. We do not know what to use for auditing. We do not know still what to use for other things. But it's a thing where at least we learn the basics. Don't have something where we do not even have a working knowledge or a knowledge about it. Let's do that. Data analytics, second thing. This is going to help in doing a better audit. It's basically utilizing it for your audit to get leads, to make it more real time, to make it more value addition to the management, where you do not only audit, you provide inputs. Now, audit isn't changing. Audit is not only about risk management and everything. Audit is also about advisory services to your management, to your owners, and to everything. So data analytics is the second thing. These are the two. Machine learning, obviously, it's part of data analytics. So you work on your Power BI or Tableau or QuickSight or whatever mechanisms you want to learn. Important thing is to learn about industry. Now, as an auditor, what we don't do is we don't focus on industry, we don't focus on business ideas, we don't focus on those things. Now, if you do not understand industry, you do not understand business, you will not be able to do a qualitative audit. Because at the end of the day, you want to be an enabler, you do not want to be a disruption into the business. So, this is three skills are very important if you think from a technical perspective. From a soft skills, obviously, we need to learn about the communication skills. I mean, this is not new. This is ever required. So, communication skills, we are not focusing as the method of chartered accountancy is not directly focusing on making them aware of communication skills. It can be reading, writing, and whatever it is. Because even though we have some IT kind of a thing, but it's not making you up to the mark in communication skill set. So that is an important. There are a few qualities which an auditor should have. I'm speaking from an auditor perspective, but that may be applicable for everything. You have to be quick. You have to be multitasker. You cannot be that I will do this only and this only. You have to change your. See, the thing was earlier we used to do one thing and we used to go along for that. But now you are handling multiple sectors, multiple companies, multiple teams together, multiple assignments together. So you need to shift your mind. So you need to do how to do multitasking. And that is a very important thing. It's a skill set which is not easy to develop, but it's not impossible. So it is a thing which helps you out. So these are the qualities which I feel will be helpful going forward.
So, do you think that any mistakes like the young CAs should avoid, what they should be careful about?
See, I have been active for the past 1 year and I've been discussing with a lot of younger CAs. What I feel is we are getting impatient with our career aspect. We want shortcuts. We want to aim for the topmost level in terms of positions, in terms of money, in terms of everything. So we get impatient. We do not want to take too much of load. That is, I'm seeing this. I'm not saying it's wrong or right. What I'm seeing is that's is impacting us, and we shift. So I have seen people shifting every 1 year from a job. I mean, 1 year you do not learn anything, honestly speaking. You join an organization, it requires you
Struggling.
minimum 6 months. Yeah, I mean, so impatience is something which I am seeing. We want to always go for shortcuts, which is not going to work out. I mean, we are going to work. We are not going to retire in 5 years down the line. I understand earlier the retirement was maybe 60. Now we want to do it 50 and another going forward 40. But the thing is, think from a long-term perspective, it is going to
I wanted
help
to
you
at
out.
30.
I'm 48. The thing is, don't rush. Things will come. Only rushing may temporarily help you, but then when you go to the highest level or go to a mid to high segment, that's where your strugglings will start coming. Second thing is, what I am feeling is you have to love what you do. The problem is we are not enjoying, we are not loving the work that we are doing. So we may like the profile, we join that profile, but the moment we join it, we start not enjoying it. So if you like it, if you love it, then the stress will not come. So what is happening is we are just seeing it mechanically. We want this thing is happening, this thing is happening, that thing is happening. So we are taking stress and then we are falling sick. So that is an important thing. It's an interchange. If you start, like, I'll give you classic examples. We love movies. So what we do, or we love music. So we love watching it continuously. The entire day, maybe at times we watch it and we don't feel tired. Why? Because you're enjoying it. The same is for the work. Same is for everything, actually. So I feel these are the two important things which I'm finding it very different from the previous generations. It's not wrong or right, but it is making them very what do you call? They're not feeling comfortable. They are not feeling okay. This company I'm not liking. I will shift another. What happens if the next company is also there? Then we shift another. So until when time we shift, somewhere we have to settle down. So we need to also change ourselves. Obviously, the organizations need to change, but we also need to change ourselves and work on it.
So, how did your idea of helping and mentoring came up? Like over a year, you were helping out many chartered accountants. So, was it your struggle that helped you out, and like how you ensured that okay, you wanted to help people are struggling and you don't want them to do so?
See, struggle was always there. It was not that I was not knowing it. But then, as you grow in age and other things, you start thinking what you're doing with your life. Because let us be clear, we all what we do is we wake up, we go to office, we come back, and then we have entertainment, we sleep. But that's not value addition you're creating in your life or somebody else's life. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a selfish interest only, value addition for yourself. So it was happening some time back, a couple of years, 3 years back, that what I'm doing with my life, I'm just doing it things mechanically, and I'm not adding any value to myself also. So that's how I started doing certain things. I started joining yoga, which I was not looking after my health, kind of a thing. So I joined yoga. Maybe I learned swimming, which I was not knowing that. I am into photography. These things are there, but then these are not value addition. It's more like a self support kind of a thing. That's last year. What happened is I came across a post. I think July the results were out, and there were a lot of posts. I was not active in LinkedIn up to that, prior to that, and that post was a hard-hitting post. I mean, it triggered in me because I was having this notion where I was thinking I'm not adding value to my life, and then this post was coming where I was feeling that there are people who are not aware of things or who are struggling, and obviously it connected with my past where I knew I was struggling, and how I didn't had a mentor or people to fall back upon. Obviously, family support, and they never pressurized me. But then family having a different background and different thing, they can emotionally support you, but they cannot support you in your future endeavors. So that's how that post triggered in me that I should be more active. I should share more of my knowledge. So the initial idea was to share knowledge to without any commercial interest, because See, today most of them are doing it for commercial interest. That's okay. That's nothing wrong in that. But for me, I do not have a commercial interest. I'm doing it just because there is a selfish interest because I want to have value addition for my life. But then this value addition is for the larger cause where people are getting benefited out of it. So I started as a post. I started sharing with things. Then as I started posting, I realized people are not even aware of the basic business processes. So I was thinking people are not being taught. It's let's be fair to the articles. Let's be fair to the initial people who are joining. You have to teach them. You have to help them out. I mean, they will if you leave them to learn on their own, they will learn what they feel they can, but they will not realize they are missing out certain things, which is going to hamper them going forward. See, out of 10 people, maybe 8 people will grow, but those 2 people will struggle. That's where I feel connected to them because those 2 people need the support. That's how I started. So, posting was initial, and then people started approaching me for advices through those posts. Then, advices became mentorship and the guidance. Now they are asking for jobs, which is very difficult for me. I would love to help everyone, but then I have my limitations. But yeah, the core objective of me is anybody wanting advice, guidance, they can feel free to approach me at any moment of time. I'm there for them.
So, if this podcast can reach every CA student, what is the one message you wanted to give?
See, the most important thing which I feel is love what you do or do what you love. This is something which is important because I'm into internal audit now with trial and error methods. I'm liking it. It's blended well with my characteristics, and it's something where I feel I'm more comfortable. I can grow, I can teach people, I can make them learn, and it's giving me a comfort zone. Comfort zone not in the bad sense where you become complacent and then don't go forward. Comfort zone means I know this is where my belongings are there. So this is an important thing which they have to do. Another important thing which I am finding it, they need to take care of their mental and physical well-being, which I feel is not happening. I know organizations are becoming more like a crazy affair, but believe me, it was there earlier also. See what has happened. I'll give you a couple of things. Earlier, the organizations were catering to Indian operations, Indian business. Okay, we had pressure. I mean, I have worked 48 hours at a stretch non-stop. I just came home for a bath, that's it. But was I stressed out? Was I feeling uncomfortable? No, I was not, because I was enjoying it. It was a kick for me that I'm doing 48 hours at a stretch, and only few people are doing it. I am getting the importance. Managers are liking me. They are giving me these things. So those were more important for me rather than 48 hours. Is it right? No. But is it not wrong also? It depends on your situation and your requirements. But today, what has happened is today the situations have changed. We have India operations, but we have another thing which is like a KPO sector. Now, KPO sector is offshore units. So, like PwC, UK or US have opened up offices here, and they have outsourced the work here. Now, that is something which has changed. It is like a production. You have volume of work, you have to give on time, and it's a mechanical work. That's where the problem is happening actually. That's where the people are feeling stressed out because they obviously, it's everything commercial, everything is profit. So we want lesser people and we want more work to be done, billable hours and all. I think that's where they're stressing out. What is important is they need to look after their health and physical well-being. Don't take the stress inside. If you take it inside, it's gone. You will collapse, because that's how we are hearing cases happening. People are going for suicides, people are going for heart attacks. It is going to increase if we don't follow a particular mechanism, if we don't stop taking stress. I think people are also need to learn is go step by step, plan out your things. There are people who are doing it. There are people who are finding it difficult. Reach out to people. Even if you are stressed, please reach out to people. That is an important thing. What happens is people don't reach out to anybody. You can reach out to your family, your friends, your seniors, or even people like us who are there in the LinkedIn and active profile. Speak out. There is nothing which stops you from quitting and going to a different organization. Don't stick it and ruin your health and collapse. If you are not able to take it up, please go to the next level. Don't stay there in the compulsion. I know everything has to be, there has to be an earning and everything. But take 3 months, start looking for a job and move out. But again, you will find the same situation everywhere, plus and minus. So eventually, you have to change yourself also to a certain extent, and balance has to be found out. Then only you will be able to survive in this situation. Otherwise, it is going to be very difficult. And also a message for people who are struggling with their exams. I feel have faith. I mean, assess yourself, have faith. I feel if I can do, anybody else can do it. Have faith in yourself. See, suppose some people are only left with one group or two papers. Don't quit. You can do it. Maybe change your mechanisms, change your methodology, change your area of study. Maybe take a new book and study again. You will feel better. So there are options to do that. So do that way. But if you think no, both the groups are left, you have given a lot of attempts and you're not able to qualify, take a pause, do a different course, start working, start looking after your career, and then go back and finish the CA. See, industry still is wanting CA at the end of the day. Because if you look for an internal audit, India, they are saying we want CA. If you look for finance or anything, they want CA. Definitely ACCAs are there, MBAs are there, but still a long way for them to go. So judge yourself. You are the only person who can judge that. So God bless and wish you all the best.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks a lot for your time. I mean, it's been an hour, but it doesn't feel so. There's so many things we can probably learn it from you, but maybe short of time then. Thanks a
I
lot.
know. My pleasure. Wish